Hey, welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. My name is Salvador Briggman, and on this channel, we love to talk about e-commerce. We talk about how to bring a physical product into the real world, something that was your idea, and bring that into the real world. We also talk about how to sell products online. We talk about Kickstarter, Indiegogo, we talk about crowdfunding, you name it. And today, I wanted to get into the 10 tips to sell more products online. So these tips are going to be very easy to implement, very quick, things that you can use that are actionable, so that way you can actually sell more products online, whether you're trying to do an online store, if you're trying to do a Shopify store, whatever it is you're trying to do, these tips and these techniques are going to help you sell more products online. So I hope that you enjoy today's video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. This helps the YouTube algorithm. And in addition, at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a very important message for anyone out there that really wants to create a store, a brand, something around the product that they have that they want to sell, or the products which they want to get out there into the world. I'm going to be sharing with you that at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. But without further ado, let's get into today's YouTube video. Simplicity of navigation, simplicity of the main core offering, and also looking at the actual homepage and just taking away, like, do I know what the main product is? Do I understand that like a sale is going on, for example? Where would I find the product catalog if there are a few more? And understanding the inventory, which one is right for me. So first thing is think about that with the homepage. The second is when someone actually clicks the link for an individual product, going to that product stage, ask yourself, and just kind of like, if you can, get a sheet of paper, right? Or get a note card or something like that. Anything will do, right? And just start writing down, do I understand and do I have all the questions that I need to have answered in order to buy the product? It's to change your perspective, right? So rather than thinking, I'm just gonna go live with my site and that's the launch event, that is not the launch event. What you need to do is you need to have a pre-launch. So a pre-launch is designed to coalesce activity so that you can actually do something with it. So for example, let's just say a pre-launch in terms of building up your social media profiles, in terms of building up your email list, in terms of getting people into a social media group of some kind, maybe even having a Telegram group, having people follow you on Instagram, right? That's what a pre-launch is that you're going to build up activity before you announce that the product is available to buy. Now, going into kind of like not so great examples, but also kind of great examples, think about the Fire Festival. The Fire Festival was a festival that was happening, right? And this is a couple of years ago where a launch event was happening. This new festival was coming up and models were posting Instagram photos and people were talking about it. And it was creating a tremendous amount of chatter. And they're talking about Southwest about this, right? And it was creating this huge amount of discussion around the festival. Could you actually buy it and purchase tickets yet? No. But once the tickets went live, they sold out like that. That is a launch event. You're manufacturing and compressing social media activity as well as excitement, hyping things up so that when you do go live, you then instantly sell out. There's this thing called the Shopify Marketplace. And basically, this is just a whole list of different apps that you can get access to once you begin a Shopify store. Now, some of these apps might not be relevant to you, other ones are. So for example, you're like, you know what, Sal, I'm just trying to get started here. I'm not looking to do SMS, text message marketing. I'm not looking to do abandoned cart recovery and chat and all that stuff. I'm not looking to maybe have an all-in-one customer service and chat bot kind of platform on my site. I'm not looking to do all that stuff. I don't need to do personalized recommendations. Like, this is way too advanced, man. Okay, I understand. There are some advanced things that are in this app, and some of the ones that are like trending here, like having an Instagram feed connected to your account, like that's obviously super sophisticated. But for a beginner, there's even really easy stuff. So like one-click upsells where someone can just add something onto their order, really easy. Having product badges, having volume discounts, product recommendations, right? This is all very easy stuff to begin with. And if you're having every kind of difficulty or like loyalty and reviews, you can always go to these really nice collections feature up here. And if you're just looking to launch your store and just kind of get started as a beginner, this might be the useful collection that you might want to peruse when you have a spare evening and some tea, right? To look over this. That branding could show up in the form of imagery. It could show up in the form of video that they see. It could show up in the form of what they read, the text that they see before they stumble on the page, right? So the actual ad text, the ad copy they see. It's gonna be pre-framed in some way in order to understand what it is that they're gonna be coming onto this page. Why did they click, right? Why did they go there? They're gonna have a certain type of mindset when they arrive on your online store, and that's the pre-frame. With the actual traffic, it's where they came from and who that individual is. So what is their age? What is their socioeconomic status? What are their interests? Where are they, right? Those kinds of common and simple questions. What products might they already own? What might they compare this to? How might they use this product? These are all questions that we can answer on a coaching call with me, or that you can get into individually just by just taking a little bit of time in order to think a little bit through who you want to visit the store, right? And I think honestly the best route is using a medium or using a platform like Kickstarter or Indiegogo. This is what's called crowdfunding. So with crowdfunding, you actually raise money just using the prototype and some marketing. And in that way, you get all the funding you need to go and purchase the minimum order quantity that's needed so you can fulfill these orders in a mass-produced way. So it really solves a lot of the problems, and why I think it's an invention, it's a massive invention for people like yourself if you want to sell your own prototype and your own product that way. So not only do you get the funding you need to do the minimum order quantity, you also get a heck of a lot of marketing, brand exposure, you get that initial base of customers, you get traffic, you do a pre-launch, you get tons and tons of people interested in the project, and also you open this up to strangers. And finally, when you ship out the product, you get tons of qualitative feedback on it as well. You hear from those early adopter customers who not only want to own the product, but they also want to talk about it. They want to tell you what they like about it, what they don't like. And it's an invaluable testing mechanism and gives you tremendous amounts of validation. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, and I've made it my career, why I've written the book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula, why my whole channel is about crowdfunding, is because it solves so many problems that I find plague many beginning e-commerce store entrepreneurs.
Meet your e-commerce partner, Fulfillrite, the high-tech turnkey solution to store, package, and ship your products worldwide. With over 100 rave reviews and a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, Google, and Shopify, it's no wonder they're called the most trusted name in order fulfillment. Wondering what all the hype's about? Get a free custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description.
Another easy way to improve conversions is to make sure that you have things like abandoned cart functionality. So cart abandonment, I think, is an issue that not a lot of people think about, but when people are interested in your product, but for whatever reason, maybe they weren't sure about something and they abandoned their cart, this is an opportunity for you to recoup a lot of potential sales, and in that way, improve conversions. So having different plugins out there, if you're using Shopify, using different apps or whatever website, your WordPress or whatever, WooCommerce, having some kind of functionality to address abandoned carts or to address things like failed credit cards. These are different ways you can actually recoup a lot of your losses. So if you have a bucket, let's just say, and you're trying to fill up this bucket, but it has a lot of holes in the bucket, it's gonna take you longer to fill it up. Versus you plug some of these holes, you're gonna fill up the bucket much more quickly. Therefore, the conversions are going to be a lot better.
One is you can get more people to buy a single product. I call that, like, if you're getting a bunch of people going into Walmart, you could get more people going into Walmart and they check out with one item, right? Like a candy bar, okay? So imagine just a bunch of people, you're greeting them, they're going into Walmart and they check out with a candy bar. Like, okay, so everyone's spending $2. That doesn't make a lot of sense. The name of the game is to identify the customer, because the customer is the one who's adding things to their cart. So rather than having like 100 people go into Walmart, right, and order just one candy bar or just buy one candy bar and walk out, you're not gonna have a very high order value, right? But what happens if you're able to get more people to add items to their cart before they check out in Walmart? Well, now all of a sudden you got a Snickers bar, you got maybe them buying some toothpaste, right? Maybe a beach towel, if it's in the summertime, maybe something like adding some clothes to the mix, adding something like the whey protein powder. I'm trying to go to the gym more often, so like I'm bulking up with whey protein powder. You might are adding a bunch of different stuff, and all of a sudden they went in to buy a freaking $2 Snickers candy bar, and they walk out ordering like $50 to $75 worth of products. And you do that by getting people to add more items to their cart. So that's what Bundle Bear allows you to do. So you can easily create product bundles and offerings, built-in volume discounts, quantity breaks, etc. I'm going to share with you an example of how that's going to look. And also, if you're interested, you can go and check out this and you can learn more about their pricing. And the great thing is they also have some really great reviews that you can look forward to there. So first of all, whenever you come to the Shopify App Store, you can either just directly add the app, or you can take the time to go and look at the description and view example store. So if you click view example store, you can also look at some of these media gallery things you want to see how this looks on mobile, right? And how that's going to appear. I'm just going to show you on the desktop because that's what I have access to. So we're going to go to Conversion Bear, which is their example site. This is really how this would look, is someone would come to the site and normally they'd just be able to buy one product. However, Bundle Bear allows them to see that if they add more items to their cart, my friend, then they can actually save money or even suggest one, which is like buy 3 and save 15. And maybe there has to customize like one extra small for my kid, one large for me, right? And one medium for my significant other. So Bundle Bear is great because it allows you to do that. And this is a really simple plugin. This is so simple, my friends. But that's like, to me, the holy grail is like, you want to keep things simple. The easier you can keep things when it comes to purchasing and checking out, the more effective it's going to be. Don't make things overly complicated, okay? We're not trying to sell a quantum physics textbook and having to talk about the PhD behind that, who's written that, and all the various previous jargon that goes into that, right? So let me talk about a few reasons why this is important and what I want to draw your attention to. Number one, what it's amazing for is just having an easy way in which people can leave reviews at the end of your product page. Easy. That is the key word here, my friends. Easy, easy. It should be very easy for people to just scroll down and very quickly write a review, right? Enter their name, their email, their ratings, and also add some photos or media content. If you want to allow them also upload video, that would be great, right? But allow them to begin to just share content with you. And then asking them to. Make it easy, make it simple. No one likes to jump through lots and lots of hoops in order to just leave a very simple review. Make it simple. They're not rocket scientists. And a lot of people struggle with functionality when it comes to online work in general. So some of the things you should be aware of. Number one, UGC. This stands for user-generated content, okay? User-generated content is whenever someone decides to leave a review, decide to post a photo, they decide to do a video review on Instagram, anything like that. This app is designed to coalesce or collect UGC content or user-generated content, right? So these are things like Instagram, photos, product reviews, community questions and answers, all that kind of stuff. This app is designed to do, and there are a lot of different little features that you might not even know about, which I'll get into in a little bit. And it has some great integrations. So first of all, let's look at the media gallery here just so we can very quickly go through this. Number one, here's an example of how it looks on another store. Very similar, of course, to the one that I have installed it on. This is for Manta Brand. We scroll here. You're also going to see how this looks on mobile. It looks amazing, looks great. And there's also what's called an automated review request, which is where this automation comes in, which I'm going to get into in just a second. Number two, another thing I love. This is so easy to sync up with your social media, my friends. You can easily sync this up with Instagram, with Facebook, and you can start to use this content in your own marketing. And that's the whole point. We want to show customers that other customers love it. This is exactly what I refer to as social proof, right? When other people are loving something, you are more likely to check out that thing. One of my friends recommended a sushi restaurant. And just because they recommend it, I'm probably going to go to that because I love sushi, man, you know? And it's one of the things that I'm looking to get some more restaurants in Miami here to go and check out. In addition, some other cool things, they have analytics and insights. We're just going to quickly go through a couple of these, reports, all that kind of stuff. Moderation, if you want to make sure you monitor the best reviews, you don't want any kind of spammy reviews or anything like that. You can showcase reviews, have different custom forums, coupons, shoppable gallery, all that kind of stuff, and even checkout reviews, right? And these are like micro reviews or an SMS review request. Think about that. You are like, this is almost like Prometheus, right? Where we're giving you fire, man. We're giving you those fire, that technology. And that's the only thing that separates you from other people. Let's be honest. Like if you're just getting started, you feel like you're like a chimp in the dirt and you're like playing with sticks and you're just kind of rubbing sticks together, trying to get fire going. And then some guy comes along with like some like I said, like an a-hole, but like some guy comes along with a lighter and you're like, what? Like, how did you start fire so quickly? And he's like, well, I just have this tool, right? And he's able to start fire and feed his family very easily. And his wife ends up cooking stuff, or he ends up cooking stuff, right? Gender rules. So it's one of those things where like the more tools that you have in your toolbox, the easier it is to have the outcome that you want. Okay, so in order to make this transition happen, which I want to get into now, we're going to have to change our focus, right? So the individual seller, right? Versus a more systematic approach, okay? The individual seller is focused on their role, what they do, right?
they're focused on just growing enough, a little bit, maybe through organic means, right? They're focused on making just lots and lots, as much money as they can, as much profit as they can. They're really just focused on that one little operation they have, and they view themselves as that fisherman. Let's talk about the system, right? The systematic thinker, the person who's more so thinking about the big picture, if you will, they're not just focused on the one little item that they're doing. They're thinking about how all these parts meld together, how they all interlock. They're not as concerned about their individual role because they know that's going to change over time. They're not as concerned about just like growing organically because they want to plow tons of resources into their business in order to grow exponentially. And they're not so much concerned about just making as much money as they can because they know that in order to get to that point where they're making just so much they can't know what to do with it, they have to reinvest and plow money back into those operations. So this is almost the opposite. But a systematic thinker, in addition, is going to be thinking about how to perfect a moment in time. Okay? So that sounds kind of weird. How to perfect a moment in time. And it's really scientific if you want to think of it that way. How to perfect a moment in time. What is the moment in time? The moment in time is the order flow, where someone comes to your website. First of all, where did they come from, right? Someone comes to your website, which is part of the system. 2, they make an order. 3, what happens after that, right? After they make an order, it goes through maybe your Shopify system, or it goes in some other kind of system. You're doing WordPress plus WooCommerce, or whatever you're trying to do, Magento, etc. After that happens, then an order is created. Then you fulfill that order. What happens with tracking? What happens when it comes to if there are returns? What happens if the customer has a question? You're thinking about all the little variations that are happening in that moment in time. And it's almost like a decision tree. I really think a decision tree is one of the best ways to think about it. So for example, we have an order that's coming in, right? Order is placed, and now this thing could happen, or this thing could happen, or this thing could happen. And you're literally spelling out and you're writing out in, kind of like a mock business plan. I don't like business plans, but you know what I mean. Like you're writing this out, you're thinking this through. What are the different variations that could happen after the order comes in, or what even has to happen in order for that order to come in? So you're thinking through the system, right? So then there are going to be other things that are at play. For example, they might have questions, or they want to return their order, or this is an opportunity for them to share it on social media, or they want to buy another one. How do we remind them of that? You're thinking about all of the different elements of this moment in time. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to perfect that moment in time so that your ideal outcome happens, okay? This is creating the future. This is why, my gosh, entrepreneurs, my friend, are the coolest people in the world. And I don't like to use that word entrepreneurs because, it's so overused, right? Business people are the coolest people in the world. Creators are the coolest people that I ever have encountered. And it's because they are creating the future in the same way that you are, okay? Consideration is really when you're doing a few different things. So first of all, you're filling in information. So part of consideration is logical. A large part is also emotional. So we're going to continue with our little example here. We're just going to say that this individual is going through their life. And again, this stage could happen in a matter of months. It could happen in a matter of days. It could happen in a matter of hours. It could happen in a matter of minutes going through this entire process. It really depends on the product and the market. So this person will just say, right, they are going through their life and they find themselves thinking a little bit more about this product, or they're starting to get email notifications, or they start to get social media posts, and they start to consider this more. So not only do you have their attention and their interest, and they're interested in this, but they're starting to begin to consider it, and they're starting to feel certain emotions toward this decision. You're like, I think I kind of really want this thing. This is super cool. This is really exciting. I didn't know it could do this. Wow, this is so interesting. I found out that this new fact, right? So it's both logical and emotional. There's a bit of it both. But I like to think of this as kind of laying breadcrumbs. So if like this is a person and we'll just say like they eat bread, you're like a duck, you're laying breadcrumbs and you're getting them to move along this path, okay? So it's part logic, it's part emotion, and they're moving along this path. And the more that they move along, the more excited they become, the more interested they become, the more they begin to actually consider buying and owning this thing. And you'll have some people that move through this really fast. They're like, show me where to buy this. I want this thing, right? How do I do this?
then they might just click and might actually go to your page and buy it or whatever it is. But they have to go through this consideration phase where you maybe share more information, or they're hunting down more information themselves about the product, and they're being considered in a much more serious way. So they're turning just their vague interest into what is likely going to be a in-person, in their life decision. Now this goes beyond, I'd say, just physical products and those kind of things. It's really about coming from just an idea, getting someone's attention, becoming curious, getting an idea, to having a real world interaction or real world action, whether that is joining a movement, supporting a political party, buying a product. It really goes across the spectrum. It can even be something that's going to visit a restaurant. You're moving closer and closer towards getting this communication to influence that person's real world behavior. Okay? Very, very nuanced, but really powerful. So the more they begin to consider this, the more they move along this chain. Really cool.
Hey, thanks for watching this YouTube video. And again, my name is Salvador Briggman. And in addition, if you want to learn how to market and sell your products beyond just the video that you watched today, I have an incredible free course sharing with you step-by-step how to do exactly that. So if you want to turn your ideas into real-world products, you want to market and sell them around the world, have people pouring in when it comes to testimonials, videos on Instagram, videos on social media, people absolutely loving what you're bringing into the world, you're going to want to check out the free course down below. So go and check out the link in the description to learn more about this free course, and you can enroll and you can get started today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Come subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. My name is Salvador, or Sal, and I will see you next time.